Hey guys, it's Datamancer again. Back for a little bit more Formula Racing here at the Hungaroring. As you are hopefully aware, and if you're not, listen up. The Formula One, I believe it's the Hungarian Grand Prix, if not the European or Eastern Bloc, whatever. They always give it some stupid name. I really don't like that. Just say where it is, call it the Grand Prix. Easy peasy. How long it took me to find Silverstone GP? Not very long, but it's called the British Grand Prix. Anyway, I guess that kind of makes reasonable sense. But I digress a lot. Right now, my fastest lap time here is a 1:23. I'm in a 2009 spec Williams-style Formula car via Formula One. Really don't think the FI is going to give me trouble about that, but saying that, because it's true, I didn't make the mod, but that's what it is. And in 2009, the even decent qualifying times were in the 120s. Now, I haven't been able to manage better than a 123 yet. For my eagle-eyed viewers, that's a little faster than the last time I streamed. I have been warmed up a little bit here already. I should have taken that flat. That was too many gears. That's too slow. So I'm a little bit warmed up, but to be fair, I've been crashing a lot. I'm pushing the car. I'm pushing the living piss out of this car, and I really want to get that 120. At one point, I was coming into the final corner a second and a half ahead of my fastest time, which should be in the 121s, and then I biffed it, so I was a little bit displeased with that. But I'm finding new ways to do this course that seem to be quicker. As always, the relative is in the upper left there. That little counter is comparing to my personal best. We need that counter to be in the green, not in the white. As you can also see, I know I just spun, but the real kicker here is that the tires get oops, that's not what I meant to do. Get unreasonably hot. I mean, cooking. And I've done everything I can, I think. So I messed with the dampers since we last played. They're so soft now. It's weird to steer the car now. It just doesn't feel very responsive under steering. I'm doing this, though, because unresponsive steering all around the track that's a little bit unresponsive is a far great step up from having the steering suddenly get extremely unresponsive when the tires get hot. There we go. See, look at that. I'm starting to figure that corner out. I know that there's more time in there, too. I'm braking later than ever for this corner because I want to go deeper. But that's kind of the line I'm looking for. Flat there. That wasn't a very good corner. I think we want to go into fourth here, not fifth. That's a change. I hate that corner. I cannot figure it out. Got our little chicane here. I tend to lock up going into the chicane. I'm pretty happy I managed to not there. If you'll notice, the tires down in the lower right corner are, well, our front left, the loudest one of the bunch by a long shot, is already screaming. The other ones are holding up nicely. I hadn't noticed that yet, so I'm actually really happy to see. But look at that, now the back left is starting to feel it. I shouldn't be getting any wheel spin, but every time I come into this corner, it's like the car is so hosed. Either that or I'm just overdriving it. Let's be honest, it's probably that I'm overdriving it, but I've hosed that corner about 4 times now. To a great dirge of swearing and sad boys type situations. Trying to be patient, see if patience pays off. Patience does not pay off. Although it really wasn't bad, and frankly the corner was a little more stable than it usually is. Which has got to be worth something. Now, all the way out to the curb. Now that's how I want to take that corner. You don't just have to whip the wheel. I mean, things are moving fast. There's no arguing that. Well, talking is actually having an effect on me more in this than it does when I'm, say, iRacing in the Miata, because it's a fucking Miata. This is a little bit more than that, to say the least. And I'm definitely feeling the pain here. It is difficult to sort of maintain. It requires a lot of concentration. Let's go with that. It's just, it requires a lot. This car does not drive itself, and has no qualms with spinning and killing you. There we go. Look at that. I like green up there. I'm trying not to look at that too much, but it's kind of hard not to, honestly. Damn it, I put 2 in the grass. This is where I'm at with this. Is like, I'm trying to extend the track as wide as I can. I'm trying to use every last square inch. I'm trying to push the car to the utmost. Last time when I was driving this thing, it was that the front left would get hot, and I was trying to... Jesus, sorry. And the front left was getting hot, and the other tires were... well, they were okay. Whatever, you know. Now, I mean, when I got on today, and I don't know if it's... I'm just looking at it from a different perspective or what exactly, but I did a couple laps and all 4 tires were yellow, like properly yellow, and except for, of course, the front left one, which was beet red. I mean, just driving, not even sliding around too much, short of maybe, you know, lockups seem to happen for me on this track. I'm trying to get the braking back into place. I've been spoiled with ABS in the Miata. I've got to say that that has probably had some effect on my ability to drive this. I'm sure there's some positives and negatives that have come from my time on iRacing as it pertains to my ability to drive this particular car. Oh, what is that? That is just messy. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to drive sloppy, I really promise you I'm not. But this course... I think we knocked out my target lap time in Spielberg in about an hour of driving, and I've already put in about 3 hours here just doing this, just going around in a circle. I don't have a problem with that, otherwise I wouldn't do it, but my point is that this track just... it seems very, very, very technical. I know that I've been hearing that one of the kind of running jokes about the Hungaroring, or not jokes, but the running sentiment in F1 is that the Hungaroring is boring, it produces boring races. Well, okay. But I guarantee the drivers aren't having a boring time. This is a very technical track. It's narrow, it's unforgiving. I assume the narrowness is what makes it quote-unquote boring, because people... there really aren't very many passing opportunities that I can see here. I wouldn't want to try to pass here. It seems very difficult. There we go. I got a great run that time. Oh, there we go. I know I can brake a little late here. Okay, now the death corner. If I can get through the death corner, we're in. I'm just going to brake early because I'm feeling a bit chicken. Oh, what the hell? Corner, and then it's a dirty lap, and we're crashing anyway. That corner absolutely vexes me, and I don't know what to do about it, other than to turn around and try it again. Ah, yes, the classic Formula 1 U-turn. Oh, that... let's not talk about that. I was trying to Austin Powers it, and I couldn't even do that, so... tires are a bit dirty, so I gotta be careful. That was a weird line, obviously. So if I brake at the yellow sign, that's too late. If I brake at the yellow sign, that is too late. I'm gonna go in. Honestly, I just have to... I've been crashing so much that... and this is gonna sound dumb, alright? This is gonna sound really dumb, but it is the that naturally is my least run corner. I think that would come as a surprise to absolutely nobody, considering it is the last corner on the circuit, and I have a big fat reset button right in front of me, so... but it bears repeating because it is the cause of my basically multiple failures now to set my new fastest lap, and a lot of my frustration at the moment. This lap is toast. Let's see if we can get through it all the way though, and see if maybe I can even try that corner again. The second sector can be so tricky, and the car does not feel consistent, and that's a strange thing, because that's a very strange thing, honestly. I've been driving this car now for several months. This is basically my favorite car on Assetto Corsa, and at this point in history, at this point in time in my life, if I turn on Assetto Corsa, it is exclusively to drive this car. I take that back. I have been participating in SRP events as well, or I will be anyway. I've done one. I will do more. But I like to think I know this car, and one thing I would say is that the car, once you get the hang of it, once you get the feel for it, the car feels like you can trust what it's going to do. It doesn't surprise me very often. And yet, in this track, I don't know what it is about this track, but man, I think the car doesn't like it. I'm starting to think that I don't like it either. Oh, for Christ's sake, that was bad. You think I was out here trying to set bad laps? Drifting F1 cars, because we can. Hey, it's your boy Slap Train, drifting F1 cars. Yeah, I just sing a little song about Slap Train drifting F1 cars. Deal with it. But it's a bit frustrating, honestly. It's like I've never had this much trouble with this car. I've had trouble with tracks. I've had trouble finding a good setup. And that it could come down to the setup. Oh my god, I hate that corner. Okay, it is obvious to me that I'm overdriving that corner. There's no explanation for why. One time I run wide, the next time I spin out. What it means is I'm refusing essentially to decrease my speed. I'm changing what I'm doing with the steering wheel, and the car is doing the best it can to get around the track, which is to say it's not enough. I would like to add that this car has, I believe the official term is buttloads of aerodynamic force setup. It is full aero, basically. After all, have you seen this track? Before I had the wings up, it was a slip and slide, I tell you what. In optimal track conditions, it was sliding everywhere. On super softs. It's full aero, and that last corner is really just, it's a lower speed corner. It's probably one of the lowest speed corners on the entire frickin' circuit. In fact, for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and say, aside from that chicane that we're about to do, it is the lowest speed corner on the entire circuit. And when you go into the lowest speed corner on the circuit, you have the least downforce, and you're relying on mechanical grip. And the way this thing eats tires on this track, my mechanical grip is not great. It's not horrifying. I mean, it's still an F1 car, for crying out loud. Look at these tires, you know. But on the other hand, it's still low aero, so here we go. Okay, I'm going to try just go a little bit slower than I have been. That downshift in a second upsets the car every time. There we go, and it was fast. Look at that front tire. Look at what I'm dealing with. And look at that, fastest lap overall. We have set a new fastest lap of 1:23.23. Which means ideally I'd shave another 2.5, 2.3 seconds out. If I see a 129.99, I'm pretty much done because, like I've been saying, I kind of am starting to grow a pretty big distaste for this track. It's just not my style. It was kind of like Baku. I didn't care for Baku much either. But that was, I think, a lot of it was the mod. The mod track in Assetto Corsa is the only one I could find for Baku. And not to try to badmouth mod creators. I don't create mods. I'm nobody special. But that mod was garbage. And I don't see why somebody would put in so much work. And he clearly had. He clearly put in a lot of work. So in the places where it showed, it showed. But there were... Why you would put so many hours into making something like that, and only to have it be seemingly extremely inaccurate. You know, that weird corner in Baku that everyone talks about, that is like, oh, the death corner, everything's so tight. It didn't seem like anything at all on the mod. And I think I was lapping faster than the guys in F1 did after about an hour of practice, which, yeah, that's not normal. Not me. So Baku was a letdown. I'm thinking this track's starting to be a letdown too. That could also come down to mod inaccuracies. This is also a mod track, naturally. Assetto Corsa has horrible support for Formula. If I do say so myself. Oh, we're gonna run out of gas. Third isn't the right gear, but I guess it kind of worked. One thing I would say about this track is that it feels very bumpy. Like, very bumpy. Like, bumpy enough to warrant saying, hey, this track is bumpier than all hell. And I only wonder if the F1 track, the real F1 track, is actually this bumpy. If it is, these guys are going to be on some wicked suspension setups, because I've taken mine about as loose out as it'll go. And I can't say I've ever even felt remotely inclined to do that in any other track. I've only ever tightened it, I think. I mean, okay, no, that's not true. I've loosened it up a little bit in a couple places to try to keep the tire heat management in check. But I think on a scale of 1 to 10 for my dampers, I am fastest lap, 122.6. Only got to take 2.6 out. We're going to run out of gas, though, so... My dampers on a scale of, I think, 1 to 10 are currently set at 3 in the front left. And I'm about to turn it down more. But look at this. This is beautiful, because that was my fastest lap ever. The 3 other tires, the good guys, are fine. They're happy. That front left is incorrigible. Bump. Lower value make the car more predictable, but slower in reactions, less precision and less stability under braking. Lowers tire temperature and wear. Lower values eliminate understeer under acceleration, but also make the car more sluggish on changing direction. Does the rebound have nothing to do with the tire temperature? Alright, let's learn. The damper stops the spring oscillation. Right. That's what dampers do. Damper rebound creates a force to slow the speed of the suspension while it is expanding. Extension. When slow movements occur, primarily on weight transfers. That almost makes it sound like if I was taking a big, wide corner at a high speed, and I sort of, like almost like getting onto a motor speedway like a NASCAR, where you've got this big, broad corner, or like the Volkswagen test track or something, and the car's starting to lean over, that the idea is that rebound would keep the car from leaning over too far. Whereas if I'm on a tight, twisty track and I crank the wheel really hard for a tight corner and the car leans hard, that the bump is still going to let it lean, but the rebound's going to want to push it back up real quick. That seems like a great way to make the thing feel unstable. Although they don't say that. Well, look at that. Higher values in the front make the car more stable under acceleration and on fast change in direction, like chicanes. Lower values apparently would also do the opposite, despite the fact that they don't say that. I'm not touching this anymore. It's ridiculous. The front left is always going to be a problem. There's nothing... Lowering tire pressure will give more traction, but less precision and more heat. Boop. Let's try that. If there's anyone in YouTube chat right now just chatting away and wondering why I'm ignoring you, that is... Well, frankly, that's my bad. I don't have a second monitor. I have no way to monitor YouTube chat. So if you're there, I'll read all this stuff afterwards. You can feel free to leave me angry chat messages and tell me how much of an idiot I am, which you'd probably be right. Or that you love my video. You can always tell me that too. I do love a good compliment every now and again. But in any case, we're going to keep banging here. We're going to see if we can't... You know, at this point, I think I'd be pretty satisfied with the 121s, because I think that was my second lap ever where I had any potential to get into the 122s. And I'm really glad I made it stick. I really am. For as grumpy as I'm being a little bit today, because I'm kind of just not having this track right now. Oh, I hate that I do that. That's not the line. Oh, what? Whoa. I carry loads of speed. I could have... There might be time in there. See, if I let off the accelerator, I've got the wheel turn, and the thing turns in, and it makes me feel like I could be carrying more speed, but as soon as I try to carry speed, it just... I gotta find the middle ground. It's there somewhere. And there's time. There's time in that corner. There's time in this corner, too, and I haven't found it yet. I braked as deep as I could there. I gained about a 10th. That's cool. But braking that hard makes me worry that I'm going to lock them up. That curb kind of reached out and slapped me. I might probably had it coming. Well, if I could keep it out of the grass, I just looked up right as I was sliding to my death and saw 0.6 faster. That gives me hope for the future. What is the car doing? I'm on the brakes. Where are you going, car? We've entered a gravitational field. I was like hard on the brakes. The car's just wiggling around. Stop that. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button there. Alright, let's keep trying. I haven't been able to monitor the temperature of the tire yet to see if it's behaving a little bit better with that extra pound of air in there. I'm cheating the corner, I'm cheating in, and it's sort of not the line, I think. I think my first corner needs a lot of work. That felt good. Wasn't slow. I know I can get on the gas early there. Obviously not that early. And when I get on the gas early in fourth, the car really pulls away hard. I know that I've got probably a 10th locked up in there, getting on the gas early enough. But again, see, where like everything I do now is like taking a lap that could be pretty stable if I really wanted it to be, and turning it into a freaking roller coaster on ice to try to make the car go quick. I like when I get a little slip on that curb and it rotates me in ever so slightly. Oh, and then I just pooched the hell out of that corner. That's no good. is the gear I was looking for. Okay. We'll get there. So the first corner, I'm gonna try to stay wide longer. This has a chance of completely washing me out of the corner. It's a chance I'm gonna have to take because I want to try this line. Okay, that was the line. I just got a little excited with the accelerator. That's the line that I'm thinking about. If I had a track IR or VR headset or a triple monitor, it would sure help to be able to see the outside of the corner so I could kind of guide the car that way, which is what I would do. I don't have any of those things, so for now we're using the force. I'm not going to do a Yoda impression. I'll sing you a song, but I will not do a Yoda impression. Well, that ain't the line. Maybe drifting into the corner wasn't the best strategy either. Apex. Wow, that was about as early an apex as I've ever done on that corner, and I had to lift to keep it on the track. There you go, nice and early back onto the gas in fourth. For some reason, this corner catches me out a lot too, and I think because I haven't got the corner before really nailed down all the way, I carry different amounts of speeds out of it, and then depending on how much speed I carry out, I keep braking at the same point. It's too late for some speeds, and just right for others, so I'm going to have to relearn my brake zone on that. I'm not driving particularly hard right now. I'm just sort of bringing it back around the track. Let's get another lap going. How about that? That was nice. Now there's my left two tires on fire again, although the front tire isn't complaining nearly as loudly as usual. My rear tire is, though. That rear tire's pissed off. I don't know what the hell I did to that. Alright, screw that other line, it doesn't work. There's a quarter second right there. Not second, third. I took a little bit of a different line there. God dang it. I hit the brakes, it locks up on me, it spins the ass out. And now my lap's toast. That was a good lap going. I took a little bit of a different line into that corner, and I really liked it. If I can pull that off again, which I think I can. It wasn't a very complicated line. It was just a slight modification to the shape of it, which let me get on the gas, like, really, really early. I'm risking a lot of crashes here, so I know you guys are seeing a lot of crashing, a lot of just general boneheadedness. And some of that is legitimate lack of skill. And some of that is me experimenting. How is that? I must have restarted my computer. How is that there? My brake was being. No, I'm pushing too hard. If you look over by my left hand over here, you can see my brake meter, and I think sometimes I've been hitting the brakes and doing that when I'm trying to hit the brakes and do more like that. And it's hard to describe because you don't have the pedal right here, but that difference between those two is not a huge difference. But that was twice in one lap where I hit the brakes, locked up, and spun in a 1 minute and 20-odd second lap. It's not great. And it goes to show, well, one, about my skill level, and it goes to show also about the current stability of the car, or lack thereof. I am driving on an unstable setup. I would never race this car, not like this. The problem I'm having, though, and this is total admission of ignorance, is that I don't know anymore what to do to the setup to make it better. I've kind of lost a bit of control over what's going on with this thing. I could try to mess with the tow settings. I think that would only lead to death, especially because I'm talking about the rear tow settings, and I try not to mess with those at all. I could mess with the aero. I could try to get the balance of the car a little better. Maybe it's a little bit too front happy still. Maybe I need to put more in the rear wing, which will make the car want to understeer a little bit more. But of understeer and oversteer, my bigger problem has been there was me trying that line again, and it just really caught me out. Whoa. Oh, we're falling into Earth. We're falling into the Earth. The virtual Earth. Here's what we're going to do. You know what? Hold on. I like the change to the tire pressure. It meant very little as far as the feel. But it does seem to be keeping the temperatures a little bit better managed. That's it. The rear wing goes to 12. We have set it at 12. There is no more rear wing. So what I can probably expect now is a bit more understeer. But if the wing does what it's supposed to do, ideally the balance will be less inclined to oversteer, like under braking and such. Oh, yeah, it's... Ooh. See, that's almost problematic. The way I had it before was certainly dangerous, but at least it turned in. Oh, what the hell? Turn, car. Alright, just give me a minute. Let me get used to this. I don't want to sit here and immediately go, that's crap, turn it back. I gotta try it a little bit. There we go, that's how I want to do that. I mean, the steering is just, oh boy, this could be a problem. You guys have watched me do this lap numerous times now. I have screwed it up in so many ways, but how many times have you seen me hit that inner chicane? Maybe once? I think never. I just turned the wheel and nothing happened. I mean, this setup, I can already tell you, isn't going to work. But I'm going to humor it and just try it for a minute and see if I can adjust my driving style slightly to maybe facilitate it a little better. Well, naturally doing the wing didn't help me with that corner. Well, damn. I think I'm about tapped out on Hungaroring for the evening. Here's what I'm going to do. I didn't care for that wing change. I'm going to put it back. I'm going to try to do 2 nice clean laps for you guys that are not going to be full pace, but they should get around the track. As a reward for your patience or your tardiness, whichever it was. Let's try to knock out a couple. I feel like you guys haven't seen it very well. I'll give you the tour. First we have this lovely hairpin at the end of the front straight. I take it in second. I suspect our boys will be taking it in third. They do have an 8-speed gearbox, not a 7. Now we go into this left-hander, this slow left-hand sweeping, or yeah, this like kind of tight hairpin left-hander into a tight right that can be taken flat in this car, maybe not in the modern ones. We have a very high-speed blind corner here to the left, followed by a very big tightening sort of hairpin thing here into the chicane. It's very, very tight because we can't have our F1 cars going fast. Now I just hit the curb again. Well, that's weird. That guy, we do some S-curves, sort of Suzuka style. It makes me think of Suzuka anyway. I think that's Suzuka I'm thinking of. I don't know, whatever. One of those tracks in Japan. Down to 2 for the worst corner ever invented in Formula 1 history. And I will not be giving you a clean lap because even when I'm not trying, that corner is hard. Okay, we'll do one more and then I think I'm going to hang it up. But, yeah, Hungaroring this Sunday. Qualifying's on Saturday, races on Sunday. Free practice starts tomorrow, I believe. All the interviews and stuff definitely start tomorrow. Or maybe free practice starts on Thursday. Either way. The race is coming up. I'm, despite kind kind of not really loving this track so much. I am excited for the race. I think it'll be a good race. The championship is in deep contention at the moment, and that is totally exciting, I think. I think F1 has been amazing this year. I think Jensen Button's taking too much shit. I don't understand that, but I totally digress. We'll find out if Lewis Hamilton can take the lead in the championship, or if Sebastian Vettel, who's a super duper guy, can retain his measly 1-point lead. I'm guessing not. I think the days of Sebastian Vettel pretending like he's got another world championship under his belt are probably by and gone. See, you know, I do try to do that corner right. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching me drive. If you like this video, you know, I hope you have happy feelings. If you did not like this video, I hope you can find another nice video on YouTube to watch that you like more. But that's it for me. I'm sure I will be back streaming sometime soon, probably with more iRacing. But in the meantime, it looks like a 122 is the best we can do at the Hungaroring.